Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. You saw last segment that Amy had joined us. She is from the Fitchburg Senior Center. She is one of the social workers here.
I am.
And more.
And more.
And more.
I wear many hats.
You do. You guys really do. Mm-hmm. Appreciate the work that you do.
Thanks.
And today we're talking a little bit about some classes coming up.
Right. We do you know anything about diabetes?
Sure do.
What are some things that come to mind when you think of diabetes?
I think of dieting.
Right.
Exercise.
Right.
Testing your blood sugar.
Yeah.
Insulin.
Do you know things that might contribute to diabetes type 2 as you get older?
Well, as you look at myself here,
You're the living picture of pre-diabetes?
I am living it. And we actually run quite a few commercials, PSAs about diabetes and the risk factors, qualifications, all that.
It's considered one of the chronic conditions in the U.S. now. It's a chronic condition.
It really is.
Yeah, 475,000 adults and 1.45 million adults with pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes, that's type 2. That's not something you're born with.
Right.
That's something that, we our bodies get used to as we get older. Blood sugar increases, obesity, lack of exercise are all contributing factors to diabetes. And at the Senior Center, we're having a class. It's Living Well with Chronic Conditions, and it's Healthy Living with Diabetes class. And that is going to be on May 10th through June 14th. It's once a week. It's on Wednesday evenings from 5:30 to 8. So, if you're working and you want to attend, if you're an older adult and you want to attend, you're not quite sure how to cope with this new diagnosis that you might have, or maybe if you're pre-diabetic, then maybe you should attend.
Yeah, you'll you find out that it's there's a lot to deal with, depending which way you fall in the category for diabetes.
But did you know that type 2 is reversible?
It is.
It's reversible with two things: diet and exercise.
Wow. Yeah.
I know, if only all of us could do that.
Those two key factors.
Diet and exercise.
I keep telling myself every year that I'm going to do that. It's definitely difficult, and it just slowly continues to grow.
Right.
As you had said with the numbers and whatnot. So it'll be a very informative class.
We're super excited about it. It'll give you lots of tips on how to eat, what to exercise, how to maintain that, and the ins and outs of insulin and trying to avoid that. So it'll be good for anybody in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can catch it early, I think that's the biggest thing for type 2. That is
for type 2, so, absolutely. And the cost is just $10, and we're going to provide a healthy snack.
Ooh.
Not any of the usual fare that we have down at the Senior Center that will put someone into a diabetic coma.
Actually, I can tell you I will tell you a little story. It's a bad story on my part, but when I was going through my EMS class, we had to do blood sugar tests on each other, right?
Yeah.
And for the night, we were putting up who had the highest blood sugar. Well, before that, I lived in a different area, so I'd stop by, visit my mom. She'd make me a dinner before I would go. So I'd study, eat dinner, visit, and then go. Well, she happened to make me a really, really nice meal for the night, and there was a couple of desserts, and a little stressed out going into the night. So, I ate my share of whatever, but...
You won.
I won by a double margin.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up getting my blood sugar tested by the teachers after the fact, and I ended up testing it for the next couple of days because it was over 300. So.
It still affected you even 2 days later?
No, I just checked it just to make sure.
Oh, you just checked it.
Because they didn't believe me that I had this. I'm like, I know, but I took the steps to check and make sure that it wasn't lingering.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't take much to get up there in ranges and tracking it. Talking about the chronic piece, it will be a great class. I have no doubt.
And so along with, the diabetes class, tips for exercise or options, there's a lot of options at the center for exercise right now. We have indoor walking over at Breakaway Sports, which if those of you don't know where that is, that's over by...
Well, it's by the new fire station now, by MG&E.
Right, by MG&E. And what's that restaurant that's on that? Oh, my gosh. Now I can't remember.
It's right at the tip of my tongue here.
Yep.
Well,
Barriques.
Barriques.
It's by
Subway,
Barriques.
all those.
All those. Over there, we've got the exercise indoors, aerobics. There's 2 different time options during the day, and also the functional fitness. So yoga and Tai Chi. Lots of options for exercise.
You see quite a few people stop in for the exercise classes here.
Oh my gosh, there's a ton of people.
I'm very proud of the citizens here that come out for it.
And the indoor walking is great. It's twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I've been, and it's on the indoor turf. There's new turf in there. It's good. It's good for balance, and you can get a lot of walking. And I think 11 times around is a mile.
Really?
You can do a lot in an hour.
Yeah, well, it's nice on your feet, too. It's not so a hard surface, and it's indoors.
And you're avoiding falls during the winter with the ice.
Hey, if you fall in there, too, at least it's a little bit
You got a
comfort.
cushion.
You do got a little bit of a cushion. It is true. So, perfect. Well, if anybody wants to get in touch with you guys, either you or Sarah, how could they do that?
They can just call the main line, 270-4290, and we'll be there in a flash.
Perfect.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for what you do down there,
Thanks.
and hopefully we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll take a very quick break. We'll be wrapping up the show with PB&J and Fat Tuesday right here on Talking Fitchburg.